because we should be hitting the
Yes,
hour.
we're hitting that live. Well, welcome back. We're back. I'm going to, before we go on, I'm going to say that the last 7 days has been my annus horribilis.
No, it hasn't been a horrible year. It's been a horrible week. But yeah, we know we get what you're going.
Yeah. And I noticed I made a few gaffes, and the biggest gaff of the week was the draw. But my head was just not in the right place. But I was advised, because of everything, to come and still do this, because if I didn't, I'd absolutely go start raving mad. So everything's sorted now. I'm back on level keel. So if it's a mistake now, it's because I'm an idiot.
No comment. I'm not going to say anything on that.
But all during this week, there's been one being that's sort of knows that I've not been myself, and that's Rocky. He's been an absolute brick this week. He's been a superstar, like he always is when you feel stressed. Anyway, left to my problems. Welcome back, folks. Here we go. We've had an incredible week, actually. 4,000. Good afternoon, Mick. 4,641 views in 7 days. We haven't had that for ages. 23 new subscribers. So thank you very much. So what have you been watching? Well, coming at number 3 this week, it was from Saturday. B-sides that not on albums with Richard McCook. 131 people have watched that this week. Number 2 still amazes me, and it amazed Dave when he checked today. Slay Studio ranking, another 220.
Yep.
But number 1 with 591 is probably the most controversial bad songs I've done, and that's 20 bad Kiss songs. 591 people have watched it. Or have I had some flack? But what I have found, which has tickled me, people don't like it when you call one of their favourite bands and say they've made 20 bad songs. My reply was, I've had a bash at my own favourite bands. I love Kiss, but they've made some howlers. But the top short this week, and
quite rightly so.
And quite rightly so, and it was always going to be, it's Roger Whittaker, The Last Farewell. I wanted to put up Durham Town, but it wouldn't let me. But I just took that off, put The Last Farewell out, and we had 788 people watch it, which is great, because he deserves the accolade. I've got a squeaky chair. That's got to be rectified. The channel over the 28 days has had 1,400 views, which is unbelievable. 14,000 views. It's amazing. What's going on? 69 subscribers.
Good evening, George. Good evening, Mick. Good evening, Matt. Good evening,
George. Welcome, my friend. So what have you been watching? A staggering one. Status Quo. 251 people have watched that video in the week. Second is Kiss. Bad songs.
Say no more.
Say no more. But the top one for the last 28 days is Slade, at 699. What's going on? Is it just a big Slade revival at the moment?
I don't know. It's weird.
It is. It's absolutely bonkers. But the whole thing, we're up to 219,475 views, and we've collated 1,152 subscribers in this time. We are growing. We're getting bigger and bigger. Top short last month again was Roger, dominating by Roger. But number 3 is still Jethro Tull at 385. But hot on its tail now is Slade. Has moved up to 4, so it's overtook Mike Oldfield, and that stands at 3,539. Will it catch Jethro Tull in the next couple of weeks?
I don't know. It all depends on what's going on. I mean, Slade have had a revival, and there was another one.
Status Quo app as well.
Well, Status Quo I put down to the Earthling Borough Festival.
Yeah.
I don't know the reason. I can't see the reason behind Slade. There has to be something.
Yes. Derek Riggs is still hanging there at number 2 with 3,949. But Quo is going through the roof again, 7,252. And still Jean-Michel Jarre is the top ranking short, 2,467 views. Now, last week's battle was a close run thing. Downwind 5, Platinum 2.
Now, hang on. I went and had a look at something. Right. Downwind 5, Mike Oldfield 7. I went and looked this afternoon. Platinum won 7-5.
Yes, it was a close one. So what's been a listening?
Before you do that, the week before, the 7th, because we missed giving out the results last week, the week before was a monster win for Genesis. It was 46-5. Humongous score.
It was a huge one. So what I've been listening to quite a lot of stuff. We've done 26 of Fela Kuti's albums. Duran Duran I've done 13. Treat Trick I've done 5 of 20. And Morpheus I started going, oh, this is
you keep getting that wrong.
What's it?
It's Morphis.
Morphis.
You're saying it like it's
Evening Simon.
I can see the movie.
Yeah, I know.
It's Morpheus.
Yeah, more. Yes. Yeah. Spooky Tooth, 5 out of 8. Fate's Warning, loving listening to them again. 3 of 13. The Flying Lizards, 2 of the 4. Radiohead, 2 of 9. Terramaze, 2 of 9. Tiger Pang Tang, I've done 4 of the 13. And we've completed Praying Mantis, FM Canada, and Toto. Right, I'm going to swiftly hand over to Dave because I think Rocky,
he wants to go play under the bush.
He wants to go and play under the bush. So I will leave you in the capable hands of Dave.
You do that, and I'll do hatches, matches, dispatches. Not as much, but okie dokie. Notable deaths in music. Because we missed out last week, we've got a few. 5th of September, we lost Tom Davies, a British-American bassist with the band Nebula. 6th of September, we lost Richard Davis, an American jazz bassist. He played on Astral Weeks by Van Morrison. And same day, we lost Larry Chance, an American doo-wop singer with a band called The Earls. And before I forget, good evening, Stephen, Ralph, Jimmy Nicol, Alex Dickey, and yes, Rocky is definitely wanting. He knows who Wally of the Week is. 7th of September, we lost Charles Gale, American jazz saxophonist and pianist. The 8th, we lost Mylon Lefebvre, an American Christian rock singer. The 10th, we lost Matthew Stewart, an American trumpeter with the band Streetlight Manifesto. We lost Charlie Robison, an American singer-songwriter. And we lost Brendan Croker, an English musician. Now, he recorded albums under his own name and with an occasional backing band called the 5 O'Clock Shadows, but he was also a member of the Notting Hillbillies, They were a country rock project formed by Mark Knopfler during the 1980s. And he was an auxiliary member of the Mekons and a full-time member of Sally Timms and the Drifting Cowgirls. But Croker also recorded with Clapton, Tanita Tikaram, Kevin Coyne, and Chet Atkins. This one's for Naomi. The 11th of September, we lost the singer Deddy Groucher. The 12th of September, we lost a Nigerian rapper, singer, and songwriter by the name of Mo Bad. The 13th of September, we lost the magnificent Roger Whittaker. Unfortunate. What a marvelous voice. I can remember so much watching him on British TV Saturday nights. Brilliant. 14th of September, we lost Fred Lewis, an American percussionist with Lakeside. 15th of September. Now, this came up today in today's Pick and Mix, Wander Down the Sidewalk. The number one song was Nel Blue di Pinto di Blu, better known by the rest of the world as Volare. Well, it was co-written by Franco Migliacci, an Italian lyricist, and he unfortunately died on the 15th. 15th, we also lost Paul Woseen, an Australian musician with the Screaming Jets and a songwriter. The 16th of September, we lost Irish Grinstead, an American R&B singer with 702, and John Marshall, an English drummer with Nucleus, Soft Machine, and Centipede. The 17th of September, we lost Lies Aji Rahman, an Indonesian musician. She was in an all-female group called Dara Puspita. The 19th of September, we lost Lou Deprique, a Belgian singer-songwriter. Now, I'll come to why he's best known, but he was a musician with two-man sound and a record producer, but he's best known for writing Ça Plaint pour moi. Which those of us who live in the UK watching commercial TV, you might very well have seen a cereal advert featuring Ça Plaint pour moi. Most of us thought it was done by Plastic Bertrand. However, Plastic Bertrand didn't sing it. The voice was Lou Deprique, and he was also the voice of Plastic Bertrand's first 4 albums. In 2006, a Belgian appeal court ruled that Bertrand was the, quote, legal performer of the track, but the ruling was overturned in 2010. So that's been ongoing. Anyway, and the last one, or the 20th of September, yesterday, we lost Kent Stax, an American drummer with the band Scream. Birthdays, we've decided to forego last week's. Hello, Rocky. 32 today is Ingrid Andress, an American country music singer. 34 is Jason Derulo, an American singer-songwriter. 37 today is Faris Badwan, an English vocalist with The Rotters, The Horrors, and Cat's Eye. Along with Blake Mills, an American songwriter, session and touring guitarist, and producer. He produced Fiona Apple and John Legend. 47 today is Jonas Bjerre, a Danish rock singer and guitarist with Mew and Apparatchik. 51 today, Liam Gallagher. We all know that name. And David Silveria, an American drummer with the band Korn. 54 today is Billy Porter, an American actor and singer. 56 today is Faith Hill, American country pop singer. He's been very popular and very successful. So too is Tyler Stewart, a Canadian drummer and vocalist with the Bare Naked Ladies. 58 today is Marcus Grothkopf. German heavy metal bassist, singer, and songwriter with Halloween. 64 today is Corinne Drury. She's a British lead singer, songwriter with Swing Out Sister. 71 today is Dave Gregory, British rock guitarist with XTC and Big Big Train. 72 is Henke Hofstede, Dutch singer-songwriter, guitarist, and keyboardist with Nits. And 72 is John Willie Wilcox, an American drummer with Utopia, Todd Rundgren, and Hall & Oates. 76 today is the magnificent Don Felder, famous American rock guitarist with the Eagles from 1974 to 2001, and he wrote Hotel California. Also 76 is Jeff Workman, British record producer and engineer. He has produced Toto, Queen, The Cars, and Journey, and quite a few others. And he's actually been added to the Picks and Mix producer list. 78 today is J. Peter Robinson, a British session pianist and arranger with Phil Collins, Brand X, and Anna-Fried Lingstad. He also composed scores for films, The World's Fastest Indian and The Bank Job, and he wrote the score for the TV series Charmed. 80 today is David Hood, an American bassist and trombonist with Music Shoals, Rhythm Section, and Traffic. 82 is Tony Moon, American doo-wop singer, arranger, guitarist with Dante and the Evergreens. He's also a producer and songwriter. 87 today, and a lot of us will remember this song. He wrote Patches, and he was Royden, better known as Dickie Lee Lipscomb. And granddaddy today, 91, is Don Preston, an American rock and jazz keyboard player with the Mothers of Invention and Frank Zappa from 66 to 74. And we got one, quite appropriately, we've got one wedding today. Back in 1967, Frank Zappa married American Secretary Gail Slopeman in a civil ceremony in New York, and they stayed married until Frank died. So that's all the Hatches, Matches, Dispatches. We've got 2 talking points tonight. One I'm going to whiz over rather quick. For those of you who watched Eurovision, you'll remember the Australian band Voyager. Their lead singer, Danny Estrin, has revealed that he has been diagnosed with cancer, and it's a cancer that requires immediate treatment. So they've been forced to cancel their tour with promoting their new album, which is rather unfortunate. And the other talking point that we've got, and I'll put it up on screen once Iain has done what's on next week, and that's the Battle Royale. But for the meantime, if Mr. Skinner is ready.
He's ready.
Okay, you are full screen. Off you go.
Okay, folks. Well, thank you, Dave, for your Hatches, Matches, and Dispatches. It is now the time where you say, what's he going to do next week? Well, it's time to reveal. So next Monday, we're carrying on with Elton John, and we're going to look at some of his collaboration work. I think that's a fab picture. All of him through the years having a good time. We got the last of the classic albums of the blues from the Jazz Fuzz magazine, and this is what they put as their number one. It's the brilliant live album from B.B. King, live at County Cook Jail. It's an absolute screamer, especially the beginning of it. It's quite funny. So that's Monday. Can't believe we've reached the last Tuesday of the month, and it's Ladies' Day, and it's all dedicated to Ireland. Again. We're getting too much publicity here. We're going to do album rankings of the wonderful Enya. And we're going to pay our little tribute to Sinead O'Connor, and I've picked my favourite songs written and performed by Sinead O'Connor, or she's sang on. There's one in there that had to go in there, and I'm sure everyone will know which one that is. Wednesday, Marathon Day. It's a review of Sonic Youth albums, and it was a request. That was an interesting one for me because I hadn't listened to too much Sonic Youth. But yeah, there's got some pretty good stuff and some stuff. So some controversy there, I'm sure. Thursday, we've got the last of the Battle of the Debuts viewers picks before we start Battle Royale. And this one was chosen by Nick's Vinyl Butty, and it's a cracker. 2 albums that actually came out on the same day. One was One Step Beyond by Madness, and the other The Specials by The Specials. That will be a toughie. Mixing it up, we're going to look at the producer, and it's Alan Parsons, but I've not included any of Alan Parsons' own albums, because we all know about Alan Parsons' albums, and if I was going to put them in my top 5, it would all be them. So I've gone away from his own stuff and seen what he done with other people. Interesting in that one.
That's fair enough. That's a fair thing to do. Because yes, I agree.
I could have told you things. And we've got a triple header. Finally, Stained are coming out. I totally messed it up. But we've got the live albums of the Waterboys. There are only 2, but they're really good. And a belter. I know we know what's on it, but I've got to mention this one. Steve Hackett's latest live album, Foxtrot at 50, and Hackett Highlights. So recorded in Brighton, and they do the whole of Foxtrot. Saturday week. It's Richard Meehan. Oh, yeah. I thought you'd like that one.
Excellent. Yes.
Yes, a lot of thought went into that one. We've got bad songs on good albums. What basically is you buy an album, every song's great, and then you go, that's a bit.
What that?
Yeah. What? Yes. Yes. Hence, I found that great emoji. I love that one. So that's all next week, folks. So I'm going to stop sharing.
All right, there you go. You're back.
I'm going to go do that and do
that.
So, hello, folks. Thank you, Pulsar. I've enjoyed all the blues albums. I love my Thank You Record Hound. I love doing that.
Yeah.
That was an absolute belter. So
I can't. I need to.
I've got a couple of helmets of the week.
Charles, yes, I'm having one as we speak. Good evening, Christopher. Thank you, Pulsar. Stephen, yes, Delane have been done and are in the ready to go list. And Charles, magazine, 5 albums have been added to the list. Social Princess. Yeah. Okay.
Helmet of the week number 1 is yours truly.
Several times, yes.
I must admit, I was my head was just somewhere else, and I just totally messed that up. But it was entertaining anyway. And the second one is people that don't watch things all the way through. Everyone, on this Kiss, when Forever came up, I've gone. It was at number 19, and then someone said you should actually add music so we can listen to it. So I said, well, if you'd have watched till the end, you'd have seen there is a playlist. And if you'd have looked on the channel, there are playlists. So anyone that throws their toys out after one go, but I think the biggest helmet of the week is me. I have made so many gaffes. I've never made so many gaffes, but I've not been in there. Nice.
And it all started with missing one entry whenever we did the live draw.
Yeah, well, we got it right the second time.
Well, it was fun.
Yeah.
And it actually cancelled out 2...
Playing with themselves, playing against.
Yes. Playing against themselves rather than with, yes.
Yeah, so we have got some juicy ties.
Right, now, if you want, I will, bear with me, share.
Yeah, they did, Charles. I feel a prize.
Right,
actually.
There you go.
Well, right, we have got some really good clashes here. Now, we'll get people up as well. What ones on there, Dave, do you think are going to be juicy?
Well, the first one, because it's the first one, it all depends on whether or not Zed can get friends and family, because I think Journey will win it. Blue Oyster Cult, the Waterboys, I'm not sure. I really am not sure. Clash versus Genesis. On a personal basis, I'd give it to Genesis. I'd go for Simon and Garfunkel over Status Quo. On a personal level, again, I'd go for Meatloaf over Downwind. I'm not sure about Rock Bottom versus Revolver. That's going to be a juicy one. Pet Sounds versus Quadrophenia. That's two classic albums, and it's very difficult to call that one. Rainbow Rising versus Close to the Edge. Personally, I'd go for Close to the Edge. Metallica, I think, will lose to Moving Pictures. Diamond Dogs, I think, will beat Defenders of the Faith. I think Who's Next will beat Never Too Late. Technique versus Sign of the Times. That's good. That's a toughie. Sergeant Pepper versus Personality. What was a spider? Blah blah. Because I know it, I'd go Sergeant Pepper, but I'm not. I'd have to go and listen to Sleepy Jackson. Boston versus the Stone Roses. That is going to be a really juicy tie. Along with Sex Pistols versus Ian Dury. Oh, because they're of a genre. They're of a coming out at around about the same time. And I don't know about The Color of Spring versus Is This Desire. Ooh. There's some really good matchups. I'm glad.
This is what I want between you guys. You've got to really try and get people on your side to vote for you. This is what this is all about as well. Defend your album. I think I'm not going to say like Dave has done it because obviously I don't want to influence, but I think my favourite tie will be the Sex Pistols against Ian Dury.
I think that's good. I think that's the juicy.
Yeah, and followed by Pet Sound Boys. So it's all up if you want to.
And I think you would be biased. Draw number 3, The Clash versus Genesis, given that you do like Foxtrot.
Yeah, so it's a tough old one. Yeah, so there we go. If you want to see that, there's a little video for you to go and see when yours is up. So thank you for that, for sharing that. Let's get.
Yeah. And like I said, there's a link in the description to the live stream to this document. It won't be up in bold. It'll just be an ordinary font. I've put it in bold so you can see it. But it's there if you want to go and look and see for yourselves later on. Okay. Back to that. Hello again.
Okay, yeah, there's some really good ties in that one. I'm looking forward to this immensely.
Stevie, cheeky bugger.
Yeah, yeah. Don't ignore the first 26 minutes of this live stream because it's a total mess. Anyway, anyone want to come up and take the mickey out of me? You're more than welcome to. Anyway, talking of Stevie, if you haven't watched it, go over to Michael's channel. We had a really good discussion Sunday morning, which was lovely to be on someone else's stream for a change and just sit there and be a guest instead of being the host. It was a really good thing. It's up on Michael's, and there is a link to it in the community on mine. So, yeah.
We've got lots of opinions already.
Yeah, it doesn't count now. So if you've got an album in, for those of you that have got albums in, I've just brought something up I don't want on the screen.
Oh.
There we go. It's gone. Yeah, so if you've got an album in, when you're up here, when it comes to nearer your thing, when you come on the week before, pump your album, defend it with, I said that wrong, but come up and promote your album and say, my album's best because.
Well, why the week before?
Do it anytime. Anytime.
Yeah.
Even even in the video comments, don't forget my album is the best.
Yeah, and give us reasons why.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, round one, Ian's going to do his normal ratings, shall we say?
I won't do it. I won't pick a winner. I won't even. I won't even give it a mark. I'll just talk about the albums, and then when we come to the second round, I will find another topic about that album to boost it even more. So I've got an idea how I'm gonna do each round now. So other things I've been doing lately. I've been doing. We're gonna have a rebrand in January. And I've been working on that. But there's one person I must thank for their hard work, because with that, when it comes to graphic designs and that, I'm pretty useless, to be quite honest.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, Naomi has been a great help. So if you're watching, Naomi, and if you watch this, thank you very much for your efforts, because your help and advice really we had a lot of fun actually while I was doing it. So once again, thank you very much, Naomi. You will all see. Oh, Record Hand needs to clean himself up. As long as you got your trousers on.
Shares Python UK comedy record. Oh yes, we'd like to see that.
Can you do a review of the best album of the year? Sadly, yeah, I will. I'll add that to a list, and I'll do it. I'll review it as a all one type thing. Yeah, no problem. I can do that. Not a problem. That's what you thought about putting in, didn't you, Zeb?
Well, he wished he had. But then, if part one is only available, and you can't get parts 2 and 3, then it'd be unfair to put in a 3 album.
Yeah, I'll see what I'm sure I'll find. Yeah. So if you want to come up anyway, we can only have.
I like the instruction. You will love it.
I can always count on Zeb. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So anything else? Things.
Let's see. That's been done. That's been done.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of fun this week, even though I've been stressed out. I've actually done things to keep me going.
Oh, right. It might be out later this year.
Yeah. Good evening, Rob.
Hi, how are you doing?
How are you doing,
Rob?
Oh, yeah, I do like your new video about your son. That was fantastic, Rob.
Yeah, thanks.
A bit different again. Something different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's something I've wanted to do for a while, really, but I don't think you can sort of. If you've not been making videos for a while, I don't think you can suddenly just do a video with your son. I've been around for a while, and I've spoke about Alex a little bit. So, and we share a love of music, so it was just a nice thing to do. So, hopefully, I'll maybe do another video before Christmas. But I've had a lot of nice comments from.
Yeah, I thought it was terrific. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening. Good evening. I don't really like to say nice things about Rob's stream, but that was the best video he did. And Alex seems to be such a nice lad. I mean, he must definitely take after his mum.
No, I'm not going to comment on that.
He's definitely a chip off the old block, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame, really. I think I've spoke before that he used to live in Sheffield, but he's moved down to London now, and you know, obviously I don't see him as much as I used to, because I used to get in the car, go over the Snake Pass, and I could be there in an hour. Whereas now, you know, logistics, you've got to go to South London. He lives quite near the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it was lovely doing the video. Alex did I think Simon mentioned that he could tell that I'd had no involvement in the editing because there was a little bit of editing went on. Because I think we spoke for about an hour and 15 minutes in total. So Alex did a little bit of editing. But
no, it was so well done, Alex. You put a really good show together then. It was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I mean, it's interesting to see how sort of another sort of father and son sort of pair sort of connected with each other sort of musically. And I think, you know, very similar with me and my son is that when he was young, I sort of influenced him, you know, just by playing the stuff around the house. But then as he got into his sort of into his teens and 20s, he started telling me about stuff. Yeah. And I think it's really great. And I'm glad you go to gigs together.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously it's not as easy now, but I do notice that he does go to quite a lot of sort of festivals. I mean, I think he's been to Glastonbury 4 or 5 times already, you know, so and now he's in London, he's able to, there's stuff going on. I mean, there's stuff going on all the time in Manchester, but in London, sort of times 10 probably, you know, there's always different events in London, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, my daughter lives in London, and you know, there's something to do every night.
So, how many children?
If you can afford it, that is. What?
How many children have you got?
2.
So
one lad, one daughter. So my lad still lives in Leeds because he's an engineer at Drax Power Station, so he commutes. Yeah.
What ages are your 2?
Well, my lad's sort of 33, and my daughter's 31.
Right. Okay. Yeah, mine is slightly younger, but soon.
Well, yeah, but then you're slightly younger than me, aren't you?
I know. Hey, I've said before, Mike, I was in shock. I didn't realise you were like an OAP.
Yeah, I certainly am. Yeah. I'm waiting to get my pension in a few months. Yeah. So there you go. There's been some really sort of interesting stuff sort of going on in the violent community, and not all of it terribly pleasant. But I must say, my favourite video from the last week or so was Harris Pilton causing a diplomatic incident with a jar of Branston and a stick of celery.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the guy has just got that natural wit, hasn't he?
And who could think and make a great video out of Branston pickle and celery?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that auction that you promised us.
Yes. Anyway, chaps, after my debacle draw, which went south, but we got it eventually. But there's some juicy toys. We've said there are some juicy toys. Any of you guys think there's some good ones there are going to be a tough?
Well, yeah, there's 2 of my favourite albums of all time are against each other. So, Quadrophenia against Pet Sounds. I mean, those are probably in my. I said top 5, but might even be top 3. I absolutely love both of those albums. But it would have to be Quadrophenia, but it would be by a fraction, you know.
It's going to be a tough one.
And they're both very different as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, I think there's some of the ties. It's sort of people who would be fans of both, like you know, Sex Pistols and Ian Jury.
Yeah,
but
that's going to be a classic.
But Boston up against Stone Roses. It's like 2 completely different camps, isn't it? And what was it? Foxtrot up against Sandinista, is that one? Yeah. So I think that'd be really interesting because you're sort of comparing chalk and cheese, aren't you?
You are, yeah.
This is it. And if you like chalk and you hate cheese, oh dear.
Can I just ask you, Ian? So how does that actually work on the sort of? Can you just run through that again? Because I don't really watch your channel much.
No, watch it a bit more, shouldn't you? Really? Well, basically, if you care to watch the Battle of the Debuts, you know how we do it. It's going to be like that. But I'm not going to do any sort of marking, and It's just going to be presenting these 2 albums,
Right.
going through the tracks, and then second time round, in the second round, we're going to do more about what the critics thought and the response.
Album covers and
covers and everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
if
a
you get
slightly different perspective.
Yeah, and if you get through to the final, when we're like the week before the final,
Well, even before that.
Yeah, if it's people like you guys, I'm going to get you both up on the screen, and you're gonna champion your album before the vote goes out. So it's definitely a bit like the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is better than the FA Cup, Ian. Yeah. Anyway, I was pleased that PJ Harvey came out last, because at least I'll still be in the comp into January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Against Tuk Tuk, yeah.
That's one of my favourite albums, That Colours of Spring.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite albums by the band.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Quo getting in there, but I don't think they stand a chance.
Who are they up against? Are they up against Simon and Garfunkel?
Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel will win that. I don't know who the other one's up against. I think it's
Who's Next?
Yeah.
Never Too Late versus Who's Next.
No, I can't see them getting through that.
Yeah, Charles says, I like to see some giant killers. There could be some shocks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for you Obscurians, you've got some tough choices to make. I must admit. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
What we need to say is voting will open on the live stream whenever the poll starts, because we'll delay putting up the poll on the community channel until just before the live stream, so it all goes at the same time. We'll finish it on the community. We'll finish the voting at midnight on Wednesday. So basically, you've got a week to vote.
Wow.
And the good thing is, folks, all the albums in the draw are actually as shorts. So that although it's only a minute of the songs, the whole album, but it gives you just if you're not quite sure and you're debating, go and listen to the 2 shorts, and it'll give you a rough idea. That's why the shorts lately have all been the entries. So it gives you guys a chance to listen to them. Oh, he's wagging his finger.
No, just, Mike, you were talking about the Harris Pilton video, and I was trying to think of videos that I've watched this week, and I don't know if you saw Mike, the Vinyl Policeman, with that who box set, them CDs. Is it Who's Next and The Lighthouse? Did anyone see that?
The Lighthouse is what Who's Next was going to be. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Has anyone seen that video?
I haven't watched it yet.
No.
Yeah, it's well worth watching. It's
I must say that Mike's excellent at doing these unboxings.
Mike's just excellent anyway, isn't he? He's great.
Yeah,
he's a great
but it's the box sets that he's sort of I think he specialises in them, probably because no one else can afford to buy them.
No.
But
he's got to have a bit of fun.
Steve. Yes, Lighthouse. You're right, Stevie. But Steve, All the World's a Stage, also did an unboxing of that.
That can happen sometimes, can't it? You get 3 or 4 people in 24 hours doing an unboxing.
Yeah, I mean, Steve was aware that Mike had already done it, and acknowledged that his video wasn't going to be anywhere near as good, but it was a different perspective.
Yeah,
and I always like to see that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I wonder if anyone will go and spend 126 quid ready for November.
What's that for?
Muse are bringing out the 20th anniversary of Absolution box set. 126 quid on pre-order.
Right.
3 LPs.
Right. Has anyone, talking of releases, that? 3 or 4 people in 24 hours doing an unboxing. Yeah, that can happen sometimes, can't it? You get 3 or 4 people in 24 hours doing an unboxing. Yeah,
As anyone seen that video?
National Album Day. Have you seen what's been released on that? There's some good titles on that.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah,
I've not seen it.
yeah.
And
I think one or two of them were picture discs, though.
No, but there's stuff like, so there's, let me try and think. There's Catatonia, that International Velvet, that's coming out.
Yeah,
So that's a bit of a classic from the mid-90s, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
no,
right. That's one I've only got on CD. Yeah,
But I played it because I've not played it for quite a long time. And I don't think I'll buy it. One thing I do love about that album, though, is the cover of it is just a fantastic cover, isn't it?
yeah.
It's iconic. Very
Well,
The
iconic.
horses, yeah.
Crikey, that's one hell of a list.
Read some of those out, Dave, because there's some really good stuff on there.
We've got 808 State.
Yeah,
It's 2 LP. Ace of Base, Happy Nation. It's a picture disc.
yeah,
Baby Bird, Ugly Beautiful, double LP.
Yeah, that's a
Belinda
good one.
Carlisle, Live
Yeah.
Your Life, Be Free, picture disc. Blur, Modern Life is Rubbish, 2
That's a
LP,
good one.
transparent orange vinyl.
yeah. I'm getting that.
Bob
Yeah,
Dylan,
me
Time
too.
Out of Mind, double LP, clear gold vinyl.
Yeah.
Catatonia, International Velvet, recycled color vinyl. Danny, Girl, 2XL. It's a 4 CD box set or 2 LP. Dinosaur Jr., never heard of him. Where You Been? Limited edition double splatter vinyl. Duster Stratosphere 25th anniversary edition. 1 LP clear and black splatter vinyl. Eternal, Always and Forever. Fatboy Slim, You've Come a Long Way. Gabrielle Rise, Garbage, version 2.0.
Oh, that'll be good.
Genuine, The Bachelor. Hole, Live Through. Idlewild, Captain. James, Laid. And James, Goldmother. Oh,
Right. Cool.
I've just seen one that Christopher asked for. Jeff Buckley, Grace,
Yeah,
in lilac wine vinyl.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Left field leftism in white and black marble vinyl. Lighthouse Family, Ocean Drive. Mark Arman, Tenement Symphony. Mel C, Northern Star.
What's that going to be? I like that album.
It just says 1 LP. Doesn't give anything special. Nas, It Was Written. Nana Cherry, Man. Paul Weller, Wildwood. REM, Automatic for the People, yellow vinyl. Robert Miles, Dreamland. S Club. Shola Ama, Much Love, recycled color vinyl. Simply Red, Blue, in blue vinyl. Susie, The Rapture, double LP.
Yeah, that's worth having.
Yes.
Let's see. Songs. Ohio. That's on color vinyl. Access and Ace. That's on color vinyl. Stereophonics, Performance and Cocktails.
Yeah,
Stone Temple Pilots, Purple on recycled color vinyl. And Core on recycled color vinyl. Teenage Fan Club. Bandwagon-esque and transparent yellow vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cores, Forgiven Not Forgotten on recycled color vinyl. The Cranberries, Everybody Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We?
That's a good one.
That's a great album, that is.
Yeah. Tricky, Maxine K,
I've got that.
3 LP, 1 LP, and 2 CDs. Released Friday the 13th of October.
Yeah.
Various artists, The Virgin Suicides, music from the movie. Various artists, Hell, various V4 Vision. Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
36 Chambers, 1 LP gold marble vinyl. That's the
it,
list. Yeah.
Some good stuff on there.
That's some excellent stuff on there.
Yeah. I think they've got it right this time. Because quite often you get a load of stuff and you think, well, who wants that? But it's the era, isn't it, when we were all buying CDs?
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to, get an album in. I mean, the Fatboy Slim album is one that I actually mentioned when I said CDs that I want on vinyl. So I'm going to have to buy it now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Michael Ricefielder's got it right. Lilac wine vinyl. What's next? Perfume vinyl? Give me black vinyl with a discount, please.
That's like a mini sort of record store day, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
14th of October.
Yeah.
Available to order, pre-order 13th.
I'd rather black vinyl, but never mind.
Yeah,
There's
I
the
won't
odd
buy
one or two.
this now.
If you've got the black, then the coloured vinyl is a sort of a special one-off.
Yeah.
But it would have to be for something that you really, really like.
I'm very tempted, I'm going to treat myself because it's my birthday on the 9th. I'm very tempted to get the Susie. I really am.
Yeah, I think you ought to.
Which album's that? Which one is it, that? Rapture, what's on that? When did that come out?
Let's have a look here.
Yeah, I think it's a birthday treat. Get the Susie.
That must be one of the later albums, isn't it?
Yeah, the Rapture,
isn't it?
Yeah, the Rapture. Charles has said it. Yeah, but it's a Susie album, so that'll do for me. Final album. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of her on YouTube last night for a show she did earlier in the year. She may be getting old, but she still got that gothy look, and she still sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Fair play to her for getting up there and doing the business.
Simon, out of those on that list, which one would you go for if you could just get one?
I'll have to go through the list again. I think there was quite a few on there which I wouldn't mind having.
I think the blur for me. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
the Stereophonics as well. That would be it.
I've got that already. I've got 2 of their albums on vinyl. Yeah. Blur would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be ranking the Stereophonics in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
Yeah, really like them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
There was one of them bands from that sort of period that came out, and there was not much going on, and a lot of them bands were a bit bland, but the Stereophonics just took it to that extra level. There was something about their recording way of recording songs that gave
I think they're the best Welsh band ever.
Evening Radio Gnome, and see you later, Alex Dickey.
No.
Thanks, Alex.
No, not the best Welsh band.
That's an interesting conundrum. If you get a liquid-filled LP and you put it on, and something happens and it breaks, what are you going to do?
You're going to get wet, aren't you?
Very wet.
Yeah. I mean, as a marketing gimmick, yeah, I like the idea, but oh god, no.
Yeah, Richard said he'll be getting Ocean Drive Lighthouse.
Nice album. You never see Ocean Drive and vinyl.
Yes, that was one of those. They had quite a lot of success, didn't they? Like for a year or two, they were pretty big, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's some good singles.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything wrong, could they? They seemed to.
Yeah.
And they came on the scene. They went off the scene as quick, didn't they? Really?
Yeah, one of those
There's
bands.
a lot of bands that have done that, though, haven't there, over the years?
Oh yeah, of course there is.
Where did you get that list, Dave? What?
I went and looked for. Just go and search for National Album Day.
Yeah.
Right, I'll have another look.
Yeah, it'll be on the Record Store Day UK website.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Was you aware of that list, Mike?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
You know, my local record shop, Jumbo, would put the list up about a week or so ago. But I mean, with these things, I tend to just give them a bit of a glance until sort of nearer the time.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. Actually, now Simon's on. Just want to sort of talk about the video you did the other day.
All right.
Because I think you alluded to a really sort of important point here And this is about, are we more obsessed with collecting records and actually sitting down and listening to them?
Yeah, I think we are, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Which video was this? I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, it was Simon playing cards really badly again.
Was it that? Were you playing cards again?
Yeah.
Oh,
This might have been. Was this an older video? Because this doesn't ring a bell with my latest one.
Yeah, nice bit of Cat Stevens in the background as well.
Oh, that's an older video. I've done a more recent one to that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Mike? Do you collect records, or is it the music, or both? Or
it's a bit of both. I mean, sometimes I think, what am I doing? What am I doing buying all this stuff? and I sort of, I think, maybe I should think more carefully before I, pick stuff up. And then, 5 minutes later, I've forgotten what I promised myself, and I'm back. But I do listen to a lot of stuff. I wouldn't, I wouldn't just collect it for the sake.
Habit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but so how many albums on average do you think you listen to in a week?
Oh,
I reckon I'll probably.
I listen to absolutely loads.
I probably listen to about 10 in a week, maybe 12.
Are you talking about like iPod?
Yeah,
as well?
I probably listen to more than that.
No, I'm on about vinyl here.
Just vinyl.
Just vinyl, yeah.
Not many. Maybe 3 albums a week on vinyl.
Yeah. Then again,
listen to my vinyl
collection, and 3's pushing it.
Yeah,
but in the week,
I
listen to a lot of mine on Spotify.
Yeah.
For the ranking, but at the weekend, I do not listen to anything to do with the channel. At the weekend, it's my music. Yeah. It's either going to be on vinyl or my iPod. Depends what I want to listen to. So I'm about 3 or 4 albums at the weekend, and it's usually the ones that I haven't listened to for such a long time. I'm going through that phase where I'll go to my records and go, God, when was the last time I put that on? Because one of my friends many years ago said to me, you've got all these records, but you can only play one at one time. Why do you need all these records?
Yeah.
Well, you just do, don't you?
Like dry spell of playing vinyl. It's only until last couple of weeks I've really started to sort of go through what I've got and put a few records on and enjoy them. It's
yeah.
I have to be in the right kind of frame of mind, and
Yeah, but Simon, you've got more restrictions than a lot of people because you've got like a young family and what have you.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's not so easy. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll say, being retired, my time's my own really, and I listened to an awful lot. About a year or so ago, I had this sort of crazy idea that I was going to go through my whole album collection and listen to every single one.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it in the end.
No.
Because you get to a point and you're always acquiring new stuff. And But I think maybe one day I should try.
I did it.
There's such a thing as. So, do you listen to music sort of in the morning? Do you have like sort of what you class as sort of morning music?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What?
Yeah. Do you have such a thing as sort of morning music? Artists that you listen to in the morning that you wouldn't listen to?
No,
not really. I mean, but I think like with everybody, sort of the music you choose to listen to sort of reflects your mood quite often, doesn't it?
Yeah. I have like music for the evening, but like not for the morning. I'm quite happy to listen to anything in the morning.
Right.
But like in the evening, it's sometimes nice to put a bit of jazz on or something like that. Something a bit more softer,
Yeah.
A bit more relaxing.
Yes, it's like I'm listening to a lot of Fela Kuti at the moment, and I love listening to that first thing in the morning. I put it on while I'm just doing stuff, catching up on emails and what people have put on. Always put a Fela Kuti album because I've got about 30 to go through, and they're only about half an hour long, but it's really good to just put that jazzy. Oh, brilliant!
Oh, the box set, Rob.
Yeah,
there's just great music to put on, isn't it? This lovely, swingy, jazzy thing, and like at night as well. I do like listening to Fela Kuti at night. I've never really been into him, but boy, am I getting into him now. I really am getting into him.
Yeah,
I think he's brilliant. There was a record store day release. I think it was 2 years ago, and that's when I really started to notice him.
Yeah.
And now I'm sort of, bringing stuff into my collection. Yeah, I nearly bought that box set, but I didn't.
Yes, and that's what the cat thinks of Fela Kuti.
No, but this box set, it was about 80 quid or something like that, which is pretty. It's not too bad, really.
Well,
what you get?
So that's. The artwork's just amazing as well.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
That's a good album. I love that album.
So that's that one. And then you get a really nice book as well. With all sorts of goodies. I'll just pull them all out. You can have a look.
It's just nice to look at the artwork though, Rob. There's one. Yeah, that's a great album.
Excellent artwork, isn't it? It's really good.
Yeah. And then this one.
Yeah, that's what he did with the Go Egypt band, wasn't it?
Yeah, Egypt 80.
Yeah, Egypt 80.
Yeah. And this one.
That's one of my favourite covers, that is.
Yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 of his sort of studio albums as well. If I ever see them, I tend to pick them up because they're pretty rare to find. So, well, I couldn't resist picking this up. I think you can still pick it up from Amazon. It's decent price.
Yeah, I think I might be tempted. So, I mean, it looks like really good value anyway.
Well, hang on a minute. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 7 albums.
And you said it's about 80 quid. Well,
I paid about
that's a bargain, then, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all sound great. Of course, there's only sort of usually it's like 1 track on each side. There's one of the labels.
It's incredible, isn't it? That's what I like about them. You got a couple of tracks, and they're always good. They're long ones, and it's so many different movements within that one track. And then he does his little speeches about human rights and
another label. I'll show you the labels because all labels are quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Get another one out. Another one there. I've never shown this on my channel. There might have been some contest and I just said I got the box set, but I'm like the opposite of BC31. I've got a box set that I've had for 6 months and I've not even opened it yet. I've not even opened it. It's still sealed up. That's how stupid I am. There's another one. But they're all really enjoyable.
I just think
on Amazon, Mike, and see what the price is now. There's like a poster as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. I like that.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean that looks very punk, doesn't it?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Yeah, I think I might be tempted.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is I think was a record store day one.
Open close.
Oh
Open,
yeah,
close.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Great.
So I just had a look. It was It was 1971, 50th anniversary, so it would have been 2021.
Right.
You know, nice bit of coloured vinyl there.
That's nice.
So that's what got me on the road to buying Fela Kuti records.
I can't even remember who suggested it to me.
Well,
who suggested to do?
I got into Fela Kuti from watching Steve Carlson. So I've been watching Steve for 5 years since I started my channel. He was like one of the people who encouraged me because I was leaving comments on his channel, and I didn't have a channel on my own, so he really encouraged me. And sort of in that initial sort of first year, I watched his videos sort of religiously, and he's someone who's championed Fela Kuti. If I'm honest, I've never heard of Fela Kuti. You know, I'm from Manchester. You know, we don't really bother with Fela Kuti. But I'm so pleased I have, because I've really got into sort of Afrobeat.
Yeah, I'd heard of him because back in the sort of, the late 80s, early 90s, I got into sort of world music, particularly African music.
Right.
And do you remember Andy Kershaw on Radio 1?
Yeah.
You know, but actually he was the entertainment secretary at Leeds University when I was there. But anyway, that was by the by. But he used to play an awful lot of world music, and I really got into it. And you're right about Steve Carlson. I mean, he shows some really, really good sort of African stuff. He's quite a big fan of Zamrock.
Yeah, he is.
And he's picked up some really sort of rare stuff, some of it in really battered condition. But I'd still buy it. Yeah. So I like Steve's channel. Yeah, he did an interesting video this week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That's something we could talk about, maybe.
Yeah.
About different sorts of record collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael's coming out. Yeah, because Fela Kuti he worked with Ginger Baker, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
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 I came across him a few years ago. I was watching a documentary on Paul Simon.
Yeah.
When he was doing the Graceland, and the interviewer says, this is a bit different direction for you, but what really got you into this sort of sound? And he said, Fela Kuti.
Right.
And I thought, never heard that name. And then obviously Paul was talking about it. So I went and looked him up and go, wow, I know he'd made a lot of albums.
Yeah.
And then when I sort of listened, like you do, you don't really go, oh yeah, I can understand why. But since I've been doing for this ranking, boy, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I've only been listening for a couple of months now, but I'm hooked. I'm hooked, line and sinker on this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's quite difficult to get into as a collector retrospectively, though, isn't he? Because, firstly, he's released so much stuff over the years. And there's more stuff coming out all the time. I mean, like that box set that Rob just showed. But, it's sort of where do you start, isn't it? What are the definitive records?
Yeah, but that box set does look a good starting place, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it does. But, it's very similar. I mean, whenever you get sort of, bands that have released a lot of records and you're just getting into them, it's really difficult sometimes. And you mentioned that, didn't you, Rob, in relation to the Giz?
Yeah.
The fact that they release a record what seems like every couple of months.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to keep up with them.
You've got some King Gizzard, haven't you, Mike?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Yeah. It can be intimidating for people as well. And the thing with King Gizzard is because the music's so, one album can be jazz and the next album. I mean, don't you, Iain? You did the ranking.
Yeah.
You enjoyed doing the ranking, didn't you? So you discovered some really good albums there.
I loved it because with every time I went to listen to a different one, I didn't know what I was going to get. Was I going to get a rock album? Was I going to get a prog album?
I know.
Was I going to get a jazz album? And then I got a thrash metal one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was a curveball. But every album, the musicianship is brilliant, and it just shows how good musicians they are. They turn their own to anything, and that is a sign of a great musician.
Yeah, you're right. I know that's what saves a lot of the albums. I think that there are one or two of the albums where there are tracks and they just sort of go off on one, and you think, what the hell is going on? But you can forgive them for that because they're such good musicians. Yeah,
it's a bit like Flaming Lips as well. They're another band that some of their stuff's totally out there. But on every, I think I've listened to every album, and there are some really strong tracks. And then they go and put a shocker on the album. And go, well, what you done that for? It's like that.
Experimentation, aren't they?
Yeah, they really push the boundaries in music, don't they? And I've got no problem with that. But some of it's not for my time. Find out.
No. But some of those singles are actually really good, but their albums. Those deep cuts are really like out there, aren't they? It's a bit.
Yeah, it's like that record loop, 39 minutes of.
Yeah, it's just noise, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean they did the other weird album that was sort of supposedly a live gig on a space station, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called though.
Psychic. Oh, hang on, I've got my list here somewhere. So obviously I've been working on them.
Yeah, you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I think I know the one. Telepathic Surgery.
I think it might be, but it's not an album I've got, but my lad bought it.
Yeah, there's one called The King's Mouth, and it's got Mick Jones from The Clash on it doing narration, and that's a weird one. It's like next week I'm doing Sonic Youth. That's another band that some songs are absolutely dynamite, and they pushed the boundaries out a little bit, didn't they? Especially when they went as that Cookie Sonic, whatever it was, the Weatherby album. I'm not going to go too much into it, but yeah, that was a strange one.
Yeah, but generally their back catalogue is pretty strong in my opinion.
They are very very good band. It was a difficult one because they're all very similar, and it was just thinking, which one do I prefer?
Yeah. Probably if you sort of did the ranking on another day, you'd come up with a different order, wouldn't you?
Yeah. If I start and listen to them again, I'd probably have a different list altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, I did change it while I put it all together. I was listening to bits because I sort of listened to every song again just to say, and they go, no, I've got that one wrong. But that's the beauty of it. You can do, you get your stable list. This is for anyone that wants to do ranking. You do your stable list, but don't be afraid to change it, even at the last minute. If you're not happy with how you've done it, just do it again. But you have to put a cut-off point. I mean, I've actually changed one on the day, some rankings. I look at my number one and went, yeah, but I listened to that today and it was better. So you just quickly swap it over. But when you got bands with a lot of albums like that are very consistent, and Sonic Youth were very consistent throughout their career. Yeah. So, and that's what I like about these bands, that they've got so much material to choose from.
Yeah.
But they all have stinkers.
Oh, yeah. I went to my local record shop today.
Oh, yeah.
And not expecting to see many new arrivals or anything, but it so happens there was today. And I must have picked out maybe 10 albums I was quite willing to buy there and then. But I kind of had to think, no, I don't really want to spend £100 or quid, with a load of records today. I'll just get the one. But it was a really tough choice.
Yeah.
And part of me was thinking, do I just buy the one I want, simple as, or do I buy the one which is going to sell the quickest, basically, and buy that one? And then there was a couple of records there which I had already, which I tended to want more than what I was initially looking at. It's weird, isn't it? There was a nice Tears for Fears album, Sowing the Seeds of Love. And of course, that cover on that album really like it's colourful and it pops out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I just want to buy it. I don't want to leave it there, you know. And,
so what did you come out with them?
Well, I brought a Buddy Holly album.
Oh right.
I kind of put those records away, and I was going through like their like 50s and 60s collection, and there's a few in there which I wanted as well. And I brought the Buddy Holly album. Something I didn't expect to come out with, but I got it anyway. I had to make a decision.
Which one?
I'll show you.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about record collecting, isn't it? You come up with the unexpected.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
That is.
Yeah, it was only a tenner. So
I've seen that one about.
That,
you know,
that's either his first or second, I think. I can't remember. My dad had that, has got that.
I don't have many of his albums. I've got a lot of compilations, but I would like a few more of his actual albums in the collection. So yeah, it was only a tenner, and
it's a great album.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's weird. No, I had these ideas and ended up buying something like that.
Yeah.
That's the way it
Yeah,
goes.
I like all that stuff because of my dad. He had the original Everly Brothers album, the one with them on the back of the motorbike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love that album. I mean, it's just great. I mean, it's rock and roll albums and Eddie Cochran, you know.
They had that as well. Yeah. It's easy to get carried away, isn't it, when you find like these albums which you want, and you just think, do I just buy the lot, or do I just, be sensible and just get the one?
Yeah, it's quality control thing, isn't it, Simon?
It is, yeah, it is.
Because you might be standing in the shop and you said, sort of like, do you buy a record that you think is going to sell quickly and you might not be able to get again? Well, if it's not something that you really want, then probably best not to buy it.
Yeah, and there's a few there where like the covers weren't like brilliant. They were good, but they weren't maybe like near mint. If it was near mint, then I'd be sold on it. I would have got it, but they weren't quite up there. So that kind of like persuaded my decision as well.
Mike, your recent video from today, show the record that I've got.
Was it Slow Dive?
Nah, I'll show you.
No. Oh, public service broadcasting, it'll be them. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of public service broadcasting.
Yeah. But I just thought their last couple of albums haven't been quite there. I mean, particularly there was one that was recorded in Berlin, and I can't for the life of me think what it's called.
No, I never really got into. I never really played that one. I like the first three albums, and I like the Titanic EP that he did.
That was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Unbelievable. They're so moving.
Yeah.
Have you ranked their albums, Ian?
No.
Right, you should.
On the list.
Put them on Dave, put them on the list.
Public service broadcasting.
Yeah, I've heard their stuff. I mean, it's one of them bands I've heard stuff, but I've not got anything by them. But I recognise their songs when I hear them.
Over the last 10 years.
It's a documentary, though, aren't they? I mean,
over the last 10 years, they're one of my favourite bands, easily.
Yeah. Mine too. I mean, as soon as I first heard them, I was absolutely hooked. I mean, on the first album, there was Spitfire, which I think was a single. But my favourite, and it's a crowd pleaser because I've seen them a couple of times. They always play it, and that's Everest.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's absolutely superb, isn't it?
I can't, but they move me more than most bands. Something about the like the sort of library voices, and because the people who are talking have been dead 50 years probably, but they're with us forever, aren't they? On those sort of tracks.
That's right. Yeah,
I absolutely adore public service broadcasting.
Yeah. I mean, I saw them. I've seen them sort of 3 times, and it's sort of the first 3 albums.
Yeah, I love that. I love
so
the third album. You know, is it Every Valley? Is it?
yeah, the coal mining one. Yeah, that's a brilliant album. And I think the Berlin one was the next one after that. And
yeah, the fourth one. Yeah,
I was so disappointed. But
yeah,
Race for Space, I think, is great because it's brilliant. It's like a documentary, isn't it?
That's unbelievable. That's just, I could talk about them forever. You know, I remember when I first started my channel, I did a video on them, but I'm not sure if it's still up. But Matt Hayes ended up buying the whole discography, didn't he?
Yeah,
really?
He did. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
Brilliant. But yeah, I mean, they're great. I mean, when we saw them, I think it was the Race for Space tour.
Yeah.
They do this brilliant thing. They had this sort of like before the gig starts, there's a public information film you've got to watch.
Yeah.
And this video comes up, and it's about somebody who's got a big sort of tablet, and they're holding it up in front of everybody else trying to film the gig.
Right. Huh.
And it's a cautionary tale about sort of like how this person they got a substandard video of the gig, but they lost all their friends and they died sort of unhappy and unloved.
Yeah, yeah.
Are all the tracks done in that kind of narration of a
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. The first 3 albums. I mean, the first one is sort of like a collection of just where they've got sort of archive clips from, you know, sort of old sort of newsreel footage, BBC sort of footage, some American stuff.
Yeah.
And they put it all to music.
There's one about the Royal Mail on that.
That's right, yeah.
What
it was the London
to
to Edinburgh sort of mail train, wasn't it? Something. Yeah, and then the second album, The Race for Space, it's just like a documentary about sort of the space race. It starts with Sputnik, and it goes all the way up to the final Apollo landing. And you kind of learn so much about it.
Yeah, you do.
You know, it's really, really good.
That's probably the best start of any gig that I'd have never been to. You know, I like when you have things like that. Hooks you straight away, doesn't it? So when the band come on, you're there, you're ready.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And the Valleys album, the third album, it's all about sort of coal mining, and particularly in Wales. They actually recorded a lot of stuff down in Wales. So they have sort of kind of vox pop of sort of like people in sort of sort of mining villages in Wales talking about you know, their experiences of coal mining. And this is all put to music.
Yeah, it sounds like it wouldn't work, but it so does.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, but
music.
Yeah, it's electronic music. Yeah, I mean it's just lovely stuff. Absolutely brilliant. And you know, it is difficult to describe it. You know, you just have to go and experience it.
You couldn't put it under a genre or anything like that.
I don't know. I suppose it's the genre is public service broadcasting. Yeah. It's sort of, you know, it's electronic music mainly.
Yeah.
You know, keyboards, bit of guitar, but yeah, just have a look. But if you know find the video for Everest online and listen to that, and if you don't like that, then you're not going to like anything else by that.
It's so different though, isn't it? It's hard to. You know, I think you have to have the whole album like to appreciate it, don't you? At least you can't really.
No, I think you can dip into tracks.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, particularly, the first album, it's not really sort of particularly themed, other than the fact that they take all this old newsreel and TV and radio footage and put it to music. And Everest is one of those, you know, and it's about the sort of like the first descent of Everest. And
because I think you were saying, Rob, Matt Hayes, I think he actually played a sample on one of his videos, didn't he, a few years ago?
Yeah, I mean, we're going back about 4 years here.
Yeah, it's a while ago now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Matt.
No, he don't really do videos much now. He used to do them like 6-7 years ago. He was pretty prolific, wasn't he?
Yeah, he used to do one weekly, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
I know when I discovered the vinyl community, there were certain channels they had. So it's like music. They had a back catalogue, and I went through the back catalogue, and some of it can be hundreds of videos. So I spent a lot of time watching Matt Hayes' sort of videos.
Did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, with like James Griffiths, watched a lot of his older videos. But there's some people, they've got, I mean, it's like Iain. If somebody sort of fell in love with Iain and decided they wanted to watch all these videos, it's going to take a while because you've got over 30 videos now, haven't you, Iain?
30,000.
30,000. Yeah, but there's the thing with all that there's the ones there that people don't watch because they don't like it because there's such a variation. There's something there for everyone.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Talking about the vinyl community thing, does everyone watch Stevie's latest video, his appreciation video?
I forwarded it until he mentioned me.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah,
yeah, it's nice that we're all part of his what he calls the true vinyl community.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, a certain channel's been slagging him off this week, though.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, we all got a bit of a beating after Sunday, apparently.
That was gonna happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stevie Cupboard, as he's known, apparently.
Stevie Cupboard.
But yeah, it's just. Yeah. And anyway, we don't want to talk about them, do we?
But we knew that was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. So
yeah.
But I thought Sunday was fun. It was a really good show.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Absolutely great. I enjoyed it immensely because I could just sit there and be part of the panel.
Yeah. I mean, I would have joined it earlier had I.
It made up for last Thursday, didn't it? Really.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, it was nice that we all got together on Michael's.
Yeah.
I watched it back later on, and I thought it was a pretty good discussion.
Yeah, Steve was on fire, wasn't he? He absolutely nailed it.
But it wasn't done. It was done in a tasteful way and not an aggressive way.
It was.
Well, it was done.
This is it, I think, and I don't know. Being sort of generous, I suppose. Is there a sort of an issue with sometimes with sort of British humour? I know. Obviously, we're talking about Michael, but you know, I think some of the stuff, you know, and you know, I for instance, Rob, I describe your wit as being, I don't know, sardonic.
Right.
You know, it's quite dark, but I think, you know, I think some people just can't get their heads around that.
No, it's like people that I work with people, and if they don't know me, you know, if we get new people, then someone will say, I'll say something to them and walk away, and then they'll get back to me and say, I think I'm fucking upset him, and they'll say, no, it's all right. That's Rob. That's what he's like. So I don't think it always comes across, especially if you're not really familiar with me. I think if you're familiar with me, you should get it. But if you just sort of jump in and you don't really know me, then you might think I'm a little bit harsh. But it's all
No, I never got that. I never got that when I met you. You know, watching you in the peanut gallery. I thought this man's got a great sense of humour, right up my street.
Yeah.
You take everything he said with a pinch of salt, you know.
Yeah, but I think with with humour though, there are comedians that you just don't get, and there's others that you do get, and it's the same with people, isn't it? Some people you kind of relate to, and you're on their wavelength, and some people you're just not, and you're never going to sort of change that, are you? So.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. It's a sort of very much a sort of, I suppose it's a psychological thing, isn't it? And, you know, I mean, I finally decided I needed to sub Davy Strange name so I could really understand what's going on in people's heads.
Yeah.
It's a lot more relatable when, like, you know, we're all of the same nation, you know.
Yeah. Oh, hi, yeah.
Talking of people from different nations, all the way from Canada. Good evening.
Good morning. Good morning, good evening, good night.
Good night, whenever it is.
G'day.
Good day and all that. Yeah. How do you find the British humour? Let's have someone that's not British.
Someone French living in Canada. You were talking guys about Vegas Opera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
What I?
I don't have the act one. I think it's the first album they made. I do have the
Yeah. We'll put him back up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
What is the
German press. This is the Akarma. This is the Akarma reissue, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is another German press original. Beautiful album.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Really,
And something for you, Rob. Just bought that record. Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to get in my good books now, aren't you?
Yeah, thanks to the vinyl community. Yeah, I found that record, and this is the last one I bought also.
Budgie.
Oh, never turn your back on a friend. Yeah. Love that.
Beautiful.
That picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. I really like Budgie, and I mean, Bread Fan is one of my favourite tracks. I think I haven't got a clue what it's about, but
I don't think they did, do I? I don't think they do. Yeah, great. Thing. So Nick was out fishing while we was having our stream.
There are more important things in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So now we know that Nick's online. There was the most brilliant sort of criticism of Captain Beefheart. Did you see that? That Nick made when he was saying bands that he didn't have any albums of, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he said with Captain Beefheart that Trout Mask replica, that's not a trout, it's a carp. I think he said it was a carp. And I thought that is the best criticism ever.
Yeah.
No, brilliant, Nick.
I liked it when he started slagging off audio files. Do you remember that? Something about going up Kilimanjaro or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Stevie's got it in for Rob tonight. Rob has never been the same since the Head and Shoulders audition rejected him.
He's on form, isn't he?
That's like one of Jimmy Barnes' jokes, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Rob, you've definitely not got the best hair on here tonight.
No.
Simon's got nice hair, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I remember when I had long hair once.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I wasn't as long as yours, but it did take some. I mean, I used to have mine in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Bit like Francis Rossi. A Francis Rossi ponytail. Talking of Francis Rossi, I'm going to see him next Friday.
Really?
On his sort of chatting, talking, and playing a little bit of guitar tour. Well, he sits with a guy and they talk about the songs and play a few songs and about his life, which I'm thoroughly looking forward to. And unfortunately, I don't think they'll let me do any filming on it, but there you go. Oh,
what sort of an audience with?
It's an audience with, he talks about music, and he plays 1-2 songs on an acoustic guitar, and they put the cover of the album on the back and all that. So I'm looking for this.
Where are they doing that?
Wellingborough. He's on tour. It's at the castle at Wellingborough.
Ah, right. Record Hand, do you want to come up?
Do you want to come up and do Mont? Oh, well. Oh, we've got another Fela Kuti.
Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Yeah, I picked this up from Sheffield. It's promotional copy. So this is from 1981.
Right.
So it's in nice condition. So,
Look.
like I say, you just don't see Fela Kuti generally. So he's one of those artists. If I do see something, unless it's sort of priced crazily, I will sort of pick him up. So yeah, pleased with that.
Oh, he's really getting about. We're filming on the banks of the River Nene. Hey.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one to watch. Remember that? Was it that country program that Jack Hargreaves did? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Out of town, isn't it? Yeah.
Out of town. It's our very own Out of Town.
Yeah, you have to be pretty old to remember that.
Right, I'm gonna go now, Ian. I'll let someone else come up.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Rob. Always a pleasure seeing you.
Yeah. See you later, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Anyone who's watched the video I did with Alex, thanks for your.
With your son, yeah, I watched it yesterday. Very nice, very good.
Yeah,
Great video, Rob.
Yeah.
I got a comment from you. I'll reply soon. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No
See you soon,
problem.
guys.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Take it easy, Rob.
Okay, so I know Record Hound wants to come up and talk a bit about Monty Python.
Yeah, it's UK. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm
Right,
sure
if
everyone's
Stevie
now
wants to come up.
Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah. So I'll just put the link up. I'm sure everyone has now watched my Monty Python and my little homage to my hero Terry Gilliam. I hadn't got the same skill, the same work as Terry, but I'm sure I did. I tried a decent job of putting explosions in and the foot of wisdom and everything.
Yeah.
So everyone watched them yet?
Yeah. I thought it was great, and the best thing about it is you didn't put Right Side of Life as number one, and you definitely chose the right song.
Galaxy song.
Yeah. I think that's
Couldn't
great.
be anything but.
Yeah, I mean, all that bit, even me making the mistake, that was all actually planned. It was. Yeah.
You were just rehearsing for the draw, weren't you?
I was just rehearsing for the draw. Yeah. In the middle of that should have had stop this. This is silly.
Yeah. You should have got Graham Chapman to come in. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that when I watched it back in the evening. I thought, why didn't I find a clip of Graham?
Yeah.
Just go, stop that. This is silly. Instead of me, it should have been Graham, but
Yeah. Well, some of us thought there's a bit of a conspiracy going on when Richard was drawn against himself, and then all of a sudden we have to do a redraw.
yeah. Anyway, we've got a special guest tonight, Record Hound, who's going to talk about his Monty Python. So we're gonna now go from music to a bit of classic comedy. So I'll recommend him. Get him in. Here we go. Good evening, sir.
Nice to finally talk with you.
Yeah, evening.
Good
Nice
evening.
to meet you all. Yeah, I've been into Monty Python since my teens, of course, and we got to see a lot of it on TV around here. But over time, I've gathered a handful of records, and I'm just I've been happy to find these things pretty well next to nothing. This is the one with the double side 2.
That is a brilliant album. I just love listening to them.
Right down to the
my hero, Terry Gilliam. He's just my hero.
and on the label it says free record with the purchase of this album. It's so great how they put so much extra on the albums.
Yeah.
Especially with their soundtracks, which I'm missing one. It's the only Monty Python album I'm missing, I think. Of course, there's a previous record from '72.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've got
yes.
all these as well. It's just fantastic.
This one I was quite happy to get at the time because it was hard to get. Live at Drury Lane.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Well, I can set.
I think it's quite ironic that I don't have a cover for this, but it is a British copy of the Monty Python Instant Record Collection. And in Canada, we actually got BBC albums through a company out of Vancouver.
Oh.
This is one of the Flying Circus albums.
Yes, that's the one that opens up with the flying sheep sketch, isn't it?
Where am I here? There we go.
Yeah, flying sheep first.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yes.
I like the North Minehead by-election on that one.
Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Of course, you mentioned a few songs from this one on your ranking.
Life of Brian,
Yes.
I just love the opening track. I think that it's very James Bond, Shirley Bassey, and it's absolutely stunning. And of course, Terry Gilliam's animation on it is brilliant.
That's how we got it in Canada, with the little maple leaf in the corner. Of course, one of my all-time favorite movies, if not favorite soundtracks to go with it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, is that I can't remember. Is that where they have the? Is it that or Drury Lane where they've got the punch up at the beginning?
I think it's on that one. I'm not.
Yeah, there's a punch up of Elizabeth Taylor and
Yeah.
Putting outside, and then you get Michael Palin in the theatre,
And last but definitely not least, before the days of home videotape, we had TV shows come out on albums.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Settings. Oh, crikey.
what do you get on that? Oh, you got
them both. Yeah.
And here's the episodes. You get Mrs. Richards, Hotel Inspectors, The Rat, and The Builders.
Yeah.
At least they translated the album a little better. Now, hopefully, I'll have to dig for it, but I do have a 45 of the Lumberjack with Spam on the flip side.
Oh, I wanted to put that in my songs, but it's more of a sketch and it's just them doing Spam all the time. But I love that sketch. It's just Terry Jones is brilliant in that. Egg, sausage, bacon, and Spam. Spam. But I wanted sausage, egg, and Spam.
It's a little deceiving, too, because on the label it actually says Spam Song.
I wonder how many people we've lost now because they do not understand what we're talking about.
None?
That was just some of the Monty Python. I have a lot of others from the UK, of course.
Russ Albert.
Russ Albert. That was real Saturday evening entertainment on British TV.
Yeah.
That had some funny songs on it that I remember. This one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, is that the TV series or the radio series?
It's actually a re-recording of the radio series, but with all the actors and all the proper sound effects.
All right, brilliant.
Oh, is that a BBC album or?
He wanted to release the radio series on records, and the BBC wouldn't let him, so he just went ahead and re-recorded it with the whole cast and sound effects and everything.
All right.
Yeah, I got them. I had them all on cassette, but I've now got all of them on CD. From the first phase, the second phase, the quintessential phase. I've got a lot of Hitchhikers.
I heard that this fellow actually helped build one of the first motorways that you have there.
Blast the
Bates.
Oh. Yes. Not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
If you're shocked, folks, don't listen to it.
It is funny.
Very funny. Very funny.
It's hilarious.
If you want to get into something really naughty.
Oh,
no.
Oh.
Yes, the misprinted Winkers album. Yes.
And I've Parted and a few of the others on there.
Some classic songs on there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, this one I was so happy to just get recently.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the goes from '74.
Yeah,
And
my favourite line in that is "On spoons, Lord Snooty."
Yeah, there's the Henry at Rawlinson End, isn't there? The fifth statue.
Yeah,
thing. That's really funny.
No one over here really knows who this guy is, but I've heard some of this. It's not bad.
I
Jasper.
have seen Jasper Carrot.
Jasper Carrot,
Yeah.
A little wild at times, you know.
Yeah, I saw him at our local theatre when it first opened, and there was these two guys sitting in one of the boxes, and he looked up and he says, "Look, it's Wilder and Statler." And they got known from then as the Muppet Boxes. From that day, they're still known in the Derngate. Dave knows this as the Muppet Boxes, isn't they? And all because
we managed to avoid being in it.
Carrot said. And the two guys that were sitting in these boxes, they were rolling around they were laughing their heads off because he just looked up at Wilder and Statler. Nice to see you, gentlemen, and it was so funny.
Oh, jeez. I'm a huge fan of Billy.
We all are. He's a national treasure here.
Yeah.
Small stack of his albums that I have, but a couple of them are.
Have you got The Last Supper?
It's on one of these, I think. Give me a second.
For me, that is one of the greatest stories that he has ever told.
Well, he talks about the crucifixion, so yeah, I think that includes it. Get right into it. One of the best album covers, I think, for a best of ever.
The pick of
and of course the back cover. But this is an excellent mix of all the Polydor stuff that he put out at the time. And of course, Polydor, just getting some of these back again. Riotous Assembly from '79, and Mixed Bag of Humble Bums, even though it's not listed as such.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that he was a really good folk singer as well as, and he plays the ukulele.
Yeah.
Ukulele, banjo, a few other things.
My favourite song on there, the Welly song. If it wasn't for my wellies, where would you be?
He does it on a few of these. But yeah, I have a few CDs of them as well, but several of them got stolen on me over the years.
Oh, no.
Of course,
The one and only.
Now we're talking.
and you got to be in the right mood for this one.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. Again, folks, not for the faint-hearted.
No, definitely not.
No.
This one is poetry, but I don't know. Maybe I was drunk enough to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Don't know
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I've got.
Oh,
Copy
I've
of
got
that
that.
somewhere.
Crikey, haven't heard that for a long, long time.
No.
And actually, I have a 3 CD box set, but I still grab the album once in a while.
Lonnie Donegan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
man. That's been,
Yeah.
It's not exactly comedy, but
Yeah, I'm doing
a
a
lot of
record
lighthearted stuff.
retro ranking on Lonnie Donegan's very soon.
I have a CD box set of Flanders and Swan, so I don't really need this one anymore.
No.
Oh, that's brilliant. Flanders and Swan, absolute classics.
And Canada, because of Capital in Canada, we got a lot of British albums and 45s that, of course, the States didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
It's Canadian Capital.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't be-
Yeah, the McCreaky Rising. Oh, that's a classic.
That's the stuff you gotta, really listen to, but it's great.
Oh, I love the Goons.
And I stopped pretty well just at Tom Lehrer, but got a Tony Hancock. Just got this at an auction.
Oh,
Ah. So,
And-
what sort of music is that one?
It was put out by Imperial in the U.S.
Right.
And his talks in between are just hilarious because he's morbid as hell.
oh yeah. Oh, he was. He was very droll.
Younger people might not remember this one, but few famous names in here.
Oh, God.
Oh,
yeah,
hello,
yeah.
my name's Sandy, and this is my friend Jules.
That's right, that was,
my name's Jules, and this is my friend
My
Sandy.
friend Sandy. Yeah.
So one of them was Kenneth Williams. Who was the other Sandy and Julian character?
He's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Pertwee, who played Hodges, was part of the Round the Horn gang as well. He did a lot with him.
Oh.
I used to like. What was the gardener?
Hugh Paddock.
Hugh Paddock. That was it.
Hugh Paddock.
Well,
Who was the gardener?
you're getting into some of the Curiano.
It's all to do with the soil. Titty not,
Howard, yeah.
Mr. Frankie Howard.
Ah.
Oh,
Who are this is?
it wasn't that long ago. He went down an absolute storm at, was it the Oxford Union?
Yeah, well, one of his last things he did. Yeah, he was that went down an absolute
That's
storm.
right. That's right. Yeah, we
Yes.
all remember Up Pompeii, don't we?
Oh,
Well, those
right.
that are old enough.
Oh, yes.
There's one that I haven't filed yet, so that's why it's just hanging out. But 10-inch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gold Parlophone.
That was good.
that's a
Ten
good one.
inch,
Oh,
isn't it?
that's brilliant.
So it's got some fun stuff on it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm pretty well disorganized otherwise, so I'd have to stop there. But
Well, thank you very much for sharing your
Thank you.
love of
Yeah, that was a really
brilliant.
enjoyable 10 or 15 minutes. I really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brought back a lot of memories of some great comedy.
Yeah.
and I know
In
there's,
answer to your question, Ian, the gardener.
Yeah.
Think about the voice.
It's Kenneth Williams. I know it's Kenny Williams,
Yeah.
but
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. It was Kenneth Williams.
what was his I can't remember the character, but it just goes. It's
Oh, the
all
word-
in
the
the
word.
soil.
Of course, I skipped right by it.
Oh, Benny
Benny
Hill.
Hill.
There's
Yeah.
a different story of this one. The one in the UK came out in 1972. This didn't come out in the US until 1981. And when they put it out in 81, they added 2 songs to it. So the quality is kind of crap in spots, but it's a first US copy, even though it's on the reissue Capitol. And a lot of good stuff from the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Ernie.
Oh, yes, it's got Ernie on it. So, yeah.
Oh, the birds and the bees. Oh yes.
That's a great way to end the album, too.
Yeah.
I like that they open up with Ernie.
Yeah.
And apparently it was re-recorded.
As well.
Apparently it was re-recorded for this album. He actually was on Pi Records before that.
Wow. It's
I don't know.
Let's see.
GH. Well, I can put it back where I shouldn't. Okay, there we go. I'm good. No, thanks.
well, that has, as Mike has said, that has been a fascinating look into how much British comedy has been influenced over in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, your friends find out, Addict. Is any there that you've heard of, or was you over your head a bit?
Yeah, of course. Benny Hill was very famous. He had a show. There was not a lot of lyrics, a lot of speaking apart. So he was very, very famous. I remember we were watching his show on Sunday. Benny Hill with the famous things at the beginning. I remember Monty Python. I knew because I like the British humor. And
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
don't know all of
That little bit of music in Benny Hill, that when I used to work on the railway, we used to get up to lots of pranks. And there was one guy I used to work with. He used to work funny, and we all took the mickey off it, and he didn't mind. And one day, one of my colleagues put on his phone the Benny Hill music as he walked down the corridor.
one guy.
What the response was.
It's amazing though, Ian, that you still hear that sometimes. So people still relate to that. There's something that, yeah. All right.
That's a nice
That's
one.
a great album. That is.
Yeah.
There you go. Since you were talking about it.
Yeah, there's something that's bugging me about Benny Hill now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Ernie, when it was, like the little film. Who was the actor who was Two-Ton Ted?
Oh,
Henry
His name?
McGee.
yes, Henry.
Henry
McGee.
McGee.
That's it. Got it. Yeah. It's just been bugging me. I can't remember what the guy's name was.
Yeah, he was a part of the his sort of gang, wasn't he, Henry McGee?
He was, yeah.
And you know what the other guy I used to like in that was that little bald-headed bloke that used to go on the top of his head.
Jackie Wright.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, yeah.
There is one guy I find he's very talented in my book. He's the voiceover. You guys come dive with me. That's on your channel 4. That's the voiceover. I don't know if you know that program.
Yeah, I know.
He's from up north. He's from Newcastle.
Oh, it's great.
The
way he jokes.
I think he also does Love Island.
A Big Brother, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Big Brother. I know Big Brother and all those Love Island, all the rest. He's very good at that.
He's quite. He takes the Mickey out. I've seen 1 or 2 of them, and he sort of takes the Mickey without taking the Mickey, and he does it in such a way that no one finds it offensive.
I'll tell you where else you'll hear him. You'll hear him on Discovery Channel on How It's Made. He does the voice for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
He does an awful lot of voice work.
It's good.
Well, I've just looked at the clock and it's come to that time where
Oh, crikey, it is. It's 10 o'clock.
it's 10 o'clock. But Record Hound, thank you for that. That was I know
brilliant.
you've been wanting to do this for a little while, and I'm so glad you did because it's been fantastic. And I think a lot of people appreciate a little bit of comedy. You know, it's all about this channel's not just about music, it's about the arts in general in my books, and comedy. It makes us laugh, especially in these grim times. A bit of comedy puts a bit of smile. So thank you, Record Hound. Also, I mean, it's been a Canadian connection tonight, which is great. Nice to see the French vinyl addict here. And of course, Rob and my two usual stalwarts of the channel, Mike and Simon. We'll all be back doing it all the same time next week. So have a good week, everybody. And thank you very much to this one.
Yeah, cheers then. And that was great, Record Hound. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we've enjoyed that. You're more than welcome to come up any time.
Thank you.
So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right.